family trouble, man trouble, woman trouble, no light through the rubble. You're looking for a true friend or a true lover, or if you've been living undercover. Well, I'm coming to your town to break it all down and help you with all of this. I'm looking to help you find bliss one day, but one way can't miss. I'm here to tear all the walls down. Doesn't matter if it's a large town or a small town. Just like Joshua and the fabled walls of Jericho, I'm here to tear down the institution. But you must tell 7 friends. You must first bring 7 friends. And don't be selfish and keep this all to yourself, and don't eat shellfish. Hate is trying to take someone else's love for yourself. But I'm here to tell you that love is trying to help someone else. You need to see me right away so I can fix this sock. You need to see me right away. You need to see me right away so I can fix this sock. You need to see me right about now. And if you are suffering a strange sickness, or someone is blocking up all of your success, you need to see me right away so I can fix this. Sounds sincerely yours in faith, love, and peace, your friend Archbishop Harold Holmes.
Hey, welcome. Heart of the Matter Epiphany with Shawn McCraney.
Hello.
Delaney McCraney, Norris, daughter, and co-founder of Yeshuans.
Yes.
Tonight's show is going to be 2 parts. Part 1, where my dad here, longtime host of Heart of the Matter, will describe the general cultural affectations that most LDS use to recruit people. Part 2 will be where we discuss things about the LDS church that are not only biblical and Christian, but support their faith in God. But before we do this, we want to describe what we offer both LDS people and believers, but especially seekers of God and spirit and truth over at Yeshuans.
All right. And, you know, over the years, it's really weird. I think it's the way that I'm constantly being humbled is I have people, even friends, say, we need somebody to do something to reach the LDS.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything to try to help them, to reach them.
No one's doing anything.
Yeah.
All day, every day, for 20 years.
These are evangelicals, typically, are Christians, so they don't see what John Delaney is doing or anything as valuable. They're talking about a religious thing.
We need a new religion.
And I'm talking about good friends to my face will say this.
Yeah.
So, Delaney, what have we done?
After a meeting about how to reach the LDS, they'll say, who's going to reach the LDS?
Yeah, what are we going to do?
My gosh.
It's like in the play of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor, it's like Pharaoh saying, who can I get?
Yeah.
And Joseph's like...
I'm in a multicolored coat here.
Okay. So what have we done? What do we offer? Very simply, like 5 or 6 points. Number 1, we do Bible verse by verse through the important, they're all important books, but through the more major important books, all of the Apostolic Record, New Testament, and a lot of the Old.
You've gone through it as an ex-Mormon, as a independent seeker of truth, not prescribed to any denomination, and you've talked about the context, the language, and the personal application of the Bible.
Right.
Every single verse of the Apostolic Record and every single verse of the big ones of the Old Testament.
Right.
You've finished that.
Yeah. Okay. And then we also have now, this year, we started a topical teaching every Sunday at 10 a.m. where we talk about biblical concepts.
They're amazing.
For people
already.
to consider.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's nice of you. And then Delaney and I, we talk about the Bible, and it's without preparing. She's going through it, and we've recorded sitting down together as dad and daughter, and she asks questions from the place she's at, and I try to answer, and it's really good. It's called I Don't Get the Bible. So that's stripped of
Yeah.
That's a different
You
way.
get the Bible and all these different like structures.
Yeah. And then we explain Mormonism from a biblical perspective and as once being LDS on this show every Tuesday night.
Yep.
And then we do a live call-in show. We call it Firesides on Sundays at 2 Mountain Time.
Where you can call 2 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
You can call in.
And Delaney and I
questions.
field any question. She has a worldview that is a little different than mine because she comes from a different generation and she has more understanding of things I don't. And it's and we have people who call in and do all kinds of things, or we read endless comments. And then we also have we have an app that is for your phone and or a website, and it allows you to have all these things. And on that app are countless courses,
topical courses, books, forums,
articles,
podcasts, programs, initiatives, events, debates.
It's unbelievable. And the thing that's unbelievable is we just steadily watch our audience get smaller and smaller. And so I ask myself, why is society so against what we offer in this thing? Is it because the evangelicals want to own it and that they bring the Mormons into their doctrine, or the Mormons don't want anything to do with us either? I mean, what is the gig?
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
You do?
I want you to tell me what you think.
There's a number of things.
All right.
There's like a technical problem. You've never curated your content for social media. People see an hour-long video. They don't want to watch that, especially when it isn't just right off the bat when you start. Like, this is how the Mormon da-da-da-da. Like, you don't do it like that. So there's like a formatting problem.
Okay.
That progressively has gotten worse over time. There's an algorithm problem. We stopped making content, went private with cults in 2021, and that demolished attention to the channel. Like, it was really not because people didn't care. That's the thing that I think you associate views with people caring. We just don't make content that gets views. Like,
got it. So where before I was saying we've got it, now it's my fault.
No. But
well,
it's
not.
Because the people in charge of that haven't really done anything to. That wasn't your.
Well, they
fault.
tried. I just wouldn't let them.
In charge, meaning me, not the past people. Like, I haven't.
You've done it.
But also, then when the people do tune in, I don't think they like what they're hearing. Like, we're also like we don't have an audience that we cater to. We're not evangelical. We're not LDS. We're not anti-religion even. Like, we are, but there are people that are like F God, like F religion, ex-evangelicals who don't believe in anything. We're not atheists. We're nothing.
So we're
not
no
artists, but we're
audience.
not. Yeah. So I think we're like across the board. There's.
That's a really good summary. And then we also have a leadership program where we're coming into our third iteration of that, and really good for people who want it. And right now we have 5 or 6 people who are going to come in our newest one that starts in around May.
Yeah.
And you're welcome. Go to Yeshuan.faith to check that out.
Can I just follow up on that long
Absolutely.
spiel I just said? The best part about all of this is that we're now launching Yeshuans to reposition us in the world. I think all this time you've been doing R&D, and now it's ready and we have all these things delivered, and you're bringing a solution to the LDS, and that's what we're starting now.
Okay.
You might see us on reels and shorts now because we're starting to like bring it back to you.
Right.
And I think we will find that audience and all that stuff. So.
And I agree. All right, now 2 folks tonight. First, what I have seen being LDS for the first 40 years of my life, and then what the LDS, second part 2 will be what the LDS have right, which is not always found in Christianity. And so we're going to give them props. Last week we beat them up. You know, I don't believe in just being malignantly against anything, because there's always a yin and yang to everything. And they would not be what they are if it was so terrible. So we'll talk about those things.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so having been LDS, then living among them in Salt Lake, Park City, Utah, Southern California, your whole life, what have you seen some ways that LDS people generally operate in the world?
So I'm going to just summarize their cultural affectation, their cultural unite. Now, there's always exceptions. There's always someone who's different. But generally speaking, what we are about to share with you, we're sharing with you so that you can be aware of what's going on behind the smile. Okay?
Yes.
Because there is always something going on behind the smile of a Mormon.
The smile.
Always. Okay?
Yeah.
And the first one is, I think, comes directly from the roots of their founder. They use charm. You know, you've heard of it. It's like a snake charmer.
Yeah.
They're very charming. They get you to come. They know how to draw you in. They know how to smile. They have a culture that's trained in this because nobody in the culture ever really says, I'm so depressed, I just want to kill myself. It's always, you know, spirit shine, I'm happy, how are you? Good. And so just know that they use charm, and it's straight from, I believe, what Smith had, and reports of him is when they met him, they were just like totally drawn in to his person. And the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Yeah, that charm seems baked into so many levels of the way that organization is structured.
Yeah.
To the point where the comment you get about LDS is they're great neighbors.
Yeah.
The thing you feel when you leave is, I'm sad I don't have people helping me move and baking me cookies now. Like, that's the thing about the LDS that you love and that you miss.
Yeah. And they're fun. I mean, they know how to have fun. They do fun without the dark influences of the world. So they don't have drugs and alcohol and wild sex. They have culture hall potlucks, and they have dances, and they have basketball games. Really fun culture. So, and Brigham Young is the one who really kind of cemented that fun spirit in the thing. The second thing is they will always appear very open to you. They'll appear very almost liberal.
Yeah.
You know, I've had
whatever you are.
Yeah, whatever you are,
Yeah.
we love you. That is, and so I've had so many experiences, like on planes, where I've sat by an LDS person and they've said, "So what do you do?" And I say, "I'm a pastor." And they say, "That is so cool." Cool. They always use cool, right? And so, but when they see that they cannot prevail over a person, they know they can't.
Immediate shift.
It's a shift. It is like night and day. So much so that sometimes they'll prejudge you. If they see tattoos or a Bible, they won't get near you.
Yeah.
And this is from 20 years of living with them in this city of Salt Lake.
Yeah, and like intentional. You do not let an opportunity pass to engage with them if you have it.
Oh, no.
So you know what they're like in actual engagement.
Yeah. And you'll literally have a family of them in a place, and you're nearby at a table, and you go, "How you doing?" And the kids will go, "Good," and the dad will go,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kids don't know how to act, so they look to their dad, and the dad said, "Oh my gosh."
When Mom cut her arm open on accident at work, we went to the hospital, and the doctor there was LDS. A really wonderful doctor. He did amazing work. I was really impressed with him as I watched him. And he looked at me and he said, "I find people with tattoos are all sociopaths."
Oh my God.
I'm covered with them, and he like says it to me.
Wow.
Part of me wanted to say F you.
Yeah.
The other part said, "Oh, I didn't know that, huh? I'm so grateful for your skill and expertise in this."
Yeah.
And then when it was done, I hugged him, and he was just like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I'm glad you didn't say F you, because it would have solidified.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Another thing that they do is they will always, at some point, if a conversation carries on longer than just a quick hello, they let you know they're Mormon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Because they're fishing.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to see
in
it.
so many words, though.
Yeah.
They have to see how Mormon you are. They use the lingo.
Yes.
My ward, my state.
My ward, my state. And they talk in terms of, you should just know.
Yes.
You know, that
you should know what a ward is.
State
Yeah.
is. And, and what a bishop is.
Yeah.
And they, especially in this state, they talk openly as if everybody will know. It's really a form of entitlement.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to look for. And they always humble brag. If you're LDS, or even if you're not, they will humble brag themselves once they have sort of figured out what you are. Because if you're not LDS, they humble brag in ways to try to get you to think, I want that too. So they'll say, yeah, I'm just up. Oh, I was in Idaho last week looking at my apartment complex that we rent. It's only a couple hundred units, you know, but I met my wife at Harvard when we started to buy apartments, and they always will appeal.
But it's humble brag because she's such a wonderful lady. She serves the homeless every weekend.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Always
at Harvard,
humble brag.
It's not a brag. Yeah.
We have so much money. They don't brag like that.
We've been so blessed.
We've been so blessed.
Well, like they
We
didn't
don't
deserve
deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, you put your face
Always.
down, and it's their culture, and it's a salesmanship culture. It's ingenious, and it's spiritually driven by a maniacal force of this world. Now, I'm not saying good salesmen do it too.
Yeah.
It's part of the spirit of man.
Christians, other religions. Yeah.
Okay, and then we kind of touched on this, but they always don't say Jesus. They say the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They'll say the Lord Jesus Christ. They call God Heavenly Father or Father in Heaven, depending on their maturity in the Scripture. And then they always refer to as their church as the church with the article the. It's so entitled. It's so offensive. And you just get in that habit, and it's just the church.
I do feel like this one might be morphing in order to appear more Christian.
Okay.
They're saying God. Just yesterday, I had a Mormon text me, God is so good to us.
Oh.
So, like, knowing who I am. And so, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
You know, when you say that, it makes sense because...
they went from proprietary God to hiding their proprietary God.
hiding it.
Yeah.
But they know amongst themselves, I'm sure they still talk in code.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I think you're right, because we had a guy here who took a car off our hand, and all these things fit with him, all of it. He did. I just watched it, and it was just last week. But he did say, now the church that I go to. So he didn't just say the church. Yeah. So it is morphing, but it's more. None of the doctrines are morphing. Just the approach.
And the approach to people in public. This stuff is relevant internally still, for sure.
Yeah.
But
the next thing is, I feel, and this is me personally, that I'm constantly being sized up. I felt that way when I was a member.
you definitely are.
Constantly being sized up.
Yeah.
In terms of your merits, what you've accomplished.
What you're doing.
Where you've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, what are you doing? How are you affording that? Where are you living?
Right.
What are your children doing?
Yeah.
How?
What school do they go to?
Yeah.
What do you guys do in the ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. And so that leads to humble bragging. Oh, we just try to serve. We're not in the ward. We're in the stake leadership. But it's always that, you know. And it's so maddening. And if you're LDS and watching this, deny it. Because you're lying if you are. You know this is how you are.
Yeah.
You know, and let me tell you, when you meet a real Christian, not an evangelical or a phony person pushing their religion, they really are that way. They don't care about their worldly affairs. They don't care about the church they go to. They don't even, real Christian is humble and broken before you.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and they will speak as if those around them are LDS too. I said that. And they, in my experience, and this may be changing too, but they will inevitably try to get you to participate in whatever they've deemed you're about. If you love sports and you're a young man, we play basketball on every Tuesday.
Yeah.
If you're a woman who loves homemaking, we have a homemaking class on. You ought to come join us.
Or
you don't have to be a member.
like this person is that homemaker. You should talk to them. Like, there's someone in the congregation
Always
that does that.
Yeah, I have a friend who
Yeah.
anything you've got, if you got a problem, we've got a solution for you, and so that recruitment brings you in, and the doctrine is not what does it.
No, not at all.
The only time there's an exception to that is if they realize you're like a Bible type person.
Yes, they'll appeal to that.
They'll appeal to that the best they can. But if they know your stuff, dead silence, walk away. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And they're positive about whatever a person does, thinks, or believes, unless it's evil to them. And depending on their missional spirit, they will always ask questions, then slip in what they believe in the most liberal, non-specific way. Oh, I love Jesus. I believe in grace.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say. They will slip it, but they don't give you the full picture, which is theologically diabolical.
Yeah, and not liberal at all.
It's all law.
That's the thing. There could be a whole show on this, but you, I think, set a precedent that is now extremely popular, which is LDS people fighting for being what they are in the church.
Wow.
There's so much of that. There's so much of it on social media. Girl posting, I drink coffee and I'm Mormon. What are you going to do about it?
Wow.
Like, this is my church. Like, all, like, that is actually, and I think, like, there's a lot of speculation that the church is behind it, like paying them to actually promote that you can be what you are in the church.
Yeah. I have tattoos. I'm Mormon.
Yeah. And so, and that's what I think you're trying to say is they act like they embrace stuff on the surface, but clearly the doctrine is like the absolute opposite of that.
Absolutely. Always.
So,
always.
I don't know what, it's becoming a tactic now, an overt one where it wasn't in your day.
Right.
It was the opposite.
Right.
So I don't know.
In our day, it was conform or you will be ridiculed. And now they are doing the opposite, but the doctrines do not change.
No.
And the bishop's job is to bring you out of that former way and into their system.
Yeah, it's like more slimy this way,
Super.
I actually think.
They
It's
have become more slimy.
Yeah, it's...
They never ever will. Never ever do they personally, if they're active and faithful, which might be different today from what you're telling me, appeal to the dark side. They don't dye their hair black, have a lot of piercings, tattoos. They don't wear dark clothes. They don't listen to metal. They enjoy a certain poppy song to be cool with the other kids, but they don't get into the weeds of the real dark stuff. And if you're of that thing, they won't probably try to reach you unless you appear to be needy for something like help or direction, and they might put their arm around you and try to bring you in.
It seems like that's where the threshold is now, is they've moved from not accepting even the look of it to accepting the look of it, but not the reality of it. So if you just are like kind of struggling and you, like they still see you as recruitable and like changeable, then they'll work with you. But if you're like, your meetings with the bishop, I think, revealed that like they were just sussing you out to see if you would eventually change or if you're never going to change. That's the difference.
And they learn never.
Yeah.
Another thing is they are huge on name dropping. You know, my favorite band, I have on my iPod Imagine Dragons, because they're part of our church, and I just, you know, they're so good. And, you know, have you ever watched, what's that Jesus show that's on that's popular?
The Chosen.
Have you ever watched The Chosen? Very LDS backed. You know, one of our friends is part of that production. And David Archuleta, Mitt Romney, Glenn Beck, they love to drop that. And, you know, Scientology does the same thing. Very similar. Because is that because the doctrine implies that your worldly success is a heavenly success? Absolutely.
So you like, that's why the smile and the charm, like it's actually heavenly related,
Right.
For them,
because they have God in them. He has blessed them, and it's the result of them being LDS.
wild.
So they don't recruit.
That is diabolical.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't recruit through the sin people have. They'll work on that one, but it's always about what we can do to make you really successful in this world.
So then they look for the successful people.
Oh, they love that.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
It's, pretty terrible.
Yeah. And then, like we said, they will invite you and do everything else. I want to tell a story. Their cultural appeal forms a thin crust over what they are unless they really do have the Spirit of God in their lives and home. And let me tell you a story. We had a stake president, and they had the big family, and he was a dentist, and he was always well appointed, and they always put off we got it together. They had a lot of things that they put out to the stake as themselves. Well, one day I had to go over there. I was the stake high councilman. I had to go over to their house for something. And when I went to the door, they had a disabled daughter who let me in. And the people in the house didn't know I was let in. So I'm standing in the living room off underneath a staircase that came down from the upstairs. And they were going at it, screaming and yelling. And the stake president was out of his gourd with anger over something or another. And he's like stomping down the stairs. And he turns the corner, and there I am. And his face just went red. He stammered. And it's like the facade was off. And that is what they are living under, the pressure of that faith to live it. And so you have a lot of things where the home is not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on that you've observed?
Oh, there are so many. I think these are big ones in person. I feel like there's a lot of internet tactics now. There's a lot of... But these summarize the spirit behind all of it, which is like recruitment. And like shape-shifting to fit the essence of Mormonism, which is connecting your spiritual worth to your worldly success. Yeah. So however that gets communicated.
So you're on social media, or I think you are, on the different things. I'm not, but I hear Mallory and Cassidy mention things sometimes about the presence of the LDS people online. How is it different than the presence of others?
I'm seeing people talk about this who are not LDS that like I just said, that it seems there's like a thing going around that it seems like the LDS church has put a lot of money into behind influencers in ways that we don't even know. It's not just the overt influencing like you're talking about where like I'm LDS and it's like people being like things you'd be surprised by, like whatever lifestyle. A lot of it is lifestyle oriented.
Vacations,
I have
traveling.
Tattoos. Well, it's both. It's both sides. There's the aspirational influencers that are beautiful, stylish, have a perfect family, live the life that you want, and then they just sneak in that they're LDS. So I think that's the version that you're talking about. Then there's a lot of people trying to make the Mormon church more relevant by being like, I'm struggling with my porn addiction and I'm LDS. Like, what do you being a little more honest about things or whatever, like testing the waters on. Wow. But and then there's a lot of theological LDS debate. LDS younger people who really have learned the theology and defend it to their death against Christians specifically, of why they're Christian or why Christians are more dumb than them. And so that's what I see most of.
I wish every one of those youngsters would come and talk to us, but they don't.
I don't know if they know about us. We can reach out.
I think they know. If they are in the apologetic realm of defending Mormon doctrine.
Oh, probably.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I don't think they'll talk to you because you aren't, like, social see is about hits, and they won't get a good hit from
an old man.
No, from having a nice conversation. Like, it would actually, I think, go better. They want something that's really hot and cold, like the Trinity is evil, and you get like a really staunch Trinitarian, and then you debate them. It would be less fraught with you, because I think you're like,
it's gonna be like fun.
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of.
That makes sense.
That's my impression, but
okay. So part two.
Okay. We want to, after kind of giving you that onslaught of frustration with the church, we want to explain the other side that's right, even biblical, and what serves to show that for some members, they have teachings and practices that are sound and even more correct than evangelicalism. So we don't like their tactics, but they're not off in a lot of ways, which is why we have a really unique thing where people are like, do you hate them or do you like them? Like all the time. So
we love them as people. We love them as an organization on earth. We hate them in their bondage making, their law keeping, and the enforcements that they put on their people who are unsuspecting of their larceny. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's just not easy.
Yeah.
So we all know that the low-hanging deceptions that everybody who gets involved in reaching the Mormons hits them with. We know of the golden plates, the angel visitations, looking at rocks, the book of Abraham, false priesthood, claiming authority, plural marriage, blacks in the priesthood, all of that stuff, fine. Okay?
Yeah.
Theologically, they are absolutely not biblical in most senses. However, what is taught and practiced among them is founded on sound biblical principles that maybe many Christians today could learn from them and follow in thereafter. It's not that Christians don't do these things, but the LDS, they strongly educate and encourage the following things of their members.
Okay. Let's look at some of the big ones in order of no importance.
Okay.
What are...
The first one is they teach their members to pray.
Yeah.
Yeah. They open their meetings with prayer. They pray, and Latter-day Saints believe and teach the importance of prayer. Now, there's going to be Christian zealots out there who are going to say, "Yeah, but who are they praying to?" And I would just respond to them by saying, "Well, who the hell are you praying to?
Yeah.
A God that predestines the entire world to go to hell?
Yeah.
If He hasn't elected them, is that who you pray to?" So, because we don't have the ontological and epistemological knowledge of God right, doesn't mean that their prayers are ineffective.
Yeah.
And so I think we should get rid of that. They are a praying people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the same way that like someone who has never prayed or doesn't believe in God and has a moment,
right,
and is like, "God, are you there?" Like, God hears that.
Yes.
And they don't know that
anything.
Jesus is yeah. So.
And it harkens back to my 97 roadside experience. I believe God was once a man, and that Jesus was my elder brother, and Satan was related to me spiritually when I asked God to come into my heart. I didn't have any of the epistemological or ontological things right, and he still reached me. So we got to get rid of this as evangelicals against the Mormons. They're a praying people. All right. Second, and this has a pro and con. They teach and preach and live healthy living. And that's not just in substances. And sometimes they're wrong. Like red wine has been proven to be pretty good for people.
Yeah.
Or coffee has been proven to be good in moderate amounts. So they overextend it, but they do believe in healthy living. Like they don't believe in partying all night. As a people, they don't. They cut it off. They believe in moderation.
Yeah.
What's that?
Family, even.
They believe in family things, even though contradictorily, they also destroy families.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for people who don't know any better, they believe in family. And a member family could say, this job's taking too much away from my kids, and they would still be allowed to be in the Mormon church, even though they would love to take everything from the man and give his attention to the church entirely and barely give attention to the family. They'll do that. But bottom line, you have your choice. And then they also have good sexual mores that they teach. Smith was a syncretic amalgamator of information, and he glommed on solidly to 19th century practices of good living. Healthy eating. That's where he came up with the Doctrine and Covenants 89 and the Word of Wisdom. And to do this, it was all from the age. Kellogg was doing that. The Seventh-day Adventists are another group that are like that. They don't believe in the drinking and the smoking. And the Jehovah's Witnesses are a lot like that, all from the same time period. Smith was not unique. He was just a syncretizer of trends at that time. And then the problem with Mormonism is they tie refraining from tobacco and alcohol or harmful drugs to being worthy before God. And we know what Yeshua said. It's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man. It is not. So, we can mess our flesh up and get high and cause an accident and things like that. That's not defiling you. He said what comes out of the mouth is what defiles a man. And they work on that too. So let's admit that. All right. Healthy living, why not? I've always said, we rejoice when in high school and college, all of our friends are, and at the adult party after a game, all the people are trying to get you to drink. And then we see what it does to us, and then we rejoice in people going to rehab.
Yeah.
I just hate the
true.
dichotomy. I hate it.
You have to be able to handle, you have to be able to know in advance how to do these things that you've never done, and then know how to stop them.
And if you don't know, learn through experience what works and doesn't work. The LDS don't give you that option. They make it all verboten. But the world pushes it, and then the fallout is extreme. There could be a better way.
There could be.
All right. One of the things that they destroy all churches I know of is their focus on youth. I mean, the whole ward operates around the youth. The bishop's real assignment is to ward the young men.
Destroy meaning they're the best at it. Yeah.
They're the best at it.
Yeah.
And you can't beat them.
Yeah.
And it's a world system.
Yeah.
So when we went to the leadership, we're trying to get them to embrace the biblical realities from the false BS. And then we can bring in those two powerful elements of what they do here and what the truth is. And the Mormon church could dominate the religious realm of Christianity.
Yeah.
They could dominate it.
They could. I'm realizing right now that Christians have to outsource that and that's why something like Charlie Kirk's youth organization, I think, became so really widespread. Political movements are really big for Christians because it gives them a thing for their youth to, the Mormons make everything in-house. They in-house everything, and so, children, youth programs, you always have something to do in-house. And I think Christians are desperate for that right now.
Wow. Really good point.
Just a thought.
I mean, thought about that.
Yeah.
The other thing with youth is they start young. And they are indoctrinating. They're indoctrinating.
Babies.
Yeah. When I was a kid, they had the stars and the moonbeam classes. They called us moonbeams.
Wow. Not sunbeams.
And sunbeams. They had sunbeams, moonbeams, and stars.
Wow.
Before primary.
Oh my God.
Moonbeams.
That's so trippy.
Yeah. But they get you singing about the prophet from a young age, the Book of Mormon. And it's just, mind bending. So it has its negative. But in terms of activities for teenagers, I tell Cassidy, I'll tell you, when your kid gets to be a teen, have them pretend to be wanting to join the Mormon church. You'll have a good upbringing. You'll make a lot of good friends and just laugh at their doctrine.
Yeah. I mean, they'll get out fine. My husband's a testament to that.
Yeah.
Took advantage of it when it was hard for him to leave. I think they make it hard on you when you leave. That really is It's kind of like your position on sex. Like it's not the engagement that's bad, but the breaking up, and that's what's hard about the LDS church.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And you pay for that. Larry's paid for that because Larry has a good heart and he loves his friends, and he loved them whether they were Mormon or not. And it doesn't come both ways.
Yeah, not at all.
Unless they think they can recruit you. All right. They have a strong focus on education and occupational development. They have Know Your Religion. They have constant courses, Sunday school, seminary. They teach their people doctrine and practices of Mormonism. They teach them their history. They don't teach the Bible well. They think they do because they cover it once every 4 years, but they don't. I mean, we spent 2.5 years just doing Revelation. They do in 1 year the entire Bible. And they skip the parts that are going to challenge anybody.
Yeah.
But their educational system, really good. And unfortunately, they emphasize the stuff they want to inculcate their members with. The fifth thing is they have a fantastic welfare system, but it's rigged. It's rigged because you've got to pay to play. You've got to pay the piper. It's limited.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things with it.
I don't know much about this. Can you explain it?
Yeah, they have what's called a bishop's storehouse. Every region has a bishop's storehouse. So let's say I lost my job. And I did once when I was LDS. I didn't have a job. And you have to go and you have to interview to see if you can go to the bishop's storehouse. And you go in and you shop. And they have like a grocery store, but it doesn't have name brand items like Fritos and stuff. It has like flour and honey and the basics for survival. And then you go through and you shop and it adds up, and that is bought for you by the ward you're in. And then they have, of course, they have their not Goodwill. Is it Goodwill? Deseret Industries.
Yeah.
They have a job resource. They have in-house counseling for people. So what they have done is they have made a world for their members to participate in. And they've done a good job of it.
No other church.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could really, as Christians, learn from them and start to adopt exactly how they do it.
I know. I got to admit, the whole thing is enviable.
Of course.
It's like really amazing.
It is the tree of knowledge of good.
Yeah.
But
it's amazing.
that's why it's so sinister and diabolic.
I know.
Yeah.
And I really love the outrageous effort that we propose to like flip that church.
Yeah.
It's an amazing church, and I don't think anyone recognize or respects it as much as we do.
Yeah.
But with that amount of respect, the hate for their claim to associate that with God is as strong.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
That is what keeps it running, is people believing that God's behind it.
Yeah.
And that, it's really hard.
So if the leaders would someday wake up and see changes they can make theologically on how God could be behind it, they could keep that attraction through what we say as Yeshuans, that he's come back already, that...
I question if it would take the air out of their sails.
Oh, it would. They'd lose.
Yeah.
They definitely lose because most people operate by laws and commands and guilt and shame and fear.
Yeah.
But those who would stay in it, and even Christians who would come to it, would be able to rejoice in the truth of it.
Yeah.
And participate in the worldly benefits that Smith established.
Yeah, it would be it would be steadied.
Yeah.
It would be steadied.
It would be steadied. Yeah. And therefore the members who did remain would be emancipated from the dark side of what it's founded on. But you're right. It's quite possible that the minute they turn from that, all the power that they've gotten to make it the system that they might just fall by the wayside.
We just have seen that even in an independent Christian out in the world, not affiliated with any church, gets the wind taken out of their sails when they think Christ has returned.
Yeah.
So there's something really hard about it.
Yeah.
But there's an adjustment period, and then there's a realization of how amazing it does make life.
Right.
Like, it actually is fantastic.
And so if we were the leaders of the Mormon church, the biggest joke in the world to even envision that, but if we were the leaders, we would say, well, what will happen if we do this? And if those leaders say we would lose too many people, we would lose all the tithes, we'd lose the participation, we know what their hearts are centered on rather than the truth. And if they're making administrative decisions like that for the world empire, we know what they really are about. So there's a line out there I just heard last Sunday that when an apostle rises up in the ranks and is willing to pull the trigger, the church will change. And that's what we hope for.
Yeah.
Utilization of members, they're excellent at that. They know how to take anybody and what they're good at, and
Ask
they plug them right in.
Yeah.
The people who are bookkeepers become the ward clerk. Everybody has something to do within the church. And so they do that better than the Christian church. They just do.
And they pay to be able to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that a funny thing?
Yeah.
You usually would get paid to do these things. And they figured out how to make it where you pay to be able to do it.
You pay tithes, you devote yourself, and it's an honor to do it.
Yeah.
That's because Smith said no religion's worth its while that doesn't exact a price from its members.
Wow. That's a quote.
It's like a paraphrase, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's ingenious.
Yeah.
And so when you come to, and I've had people say, if you really want to make a lot of money, start a religion.
Yeah.
If you start one like Smith, because he was all about money, and that's what the fruit of Mormonism has produced. That's how it works. And
no wonder why Yeshuans will never be a
world power.
Yeah, never. It's not a religion.
No.
It's the anti-religion, and it's never.
No.
It's so rough.
But it will really bless those who seek him in spirit and truth.
Yeah, there's nothing better.
Right.
What's the product of religion? It's horrific.
Always.
But
Number 7, this one's going to be tough for some people, but Mormonism has a sound understanding of the purpose of life that they give to their members. Now, it's not to become a god, even though that's the secret handshake purpose, but it is to go through a test and trial and to see how you're going to manage your choices in this life. And that is something, their approach to it is way off the mark, because the way they say you enforce your strength in that is by doing rites, rituals, promises, obedience to laws and things, where the Christian model is I trust in Christ alone to empower me to overcome the things of this flesh. The Mormons have an absolute reverse way, but they do admit that there is a purpose to this life, and it's how to make choices that are going to honor God. And that's why they don't agree with premarital sex and things that come up fleshly. Christians have a very different approach to it, but they do have that right, you know. And it's not that we would ever agree with their false fictional knowledge that we came from a pre-existence down to this earth to be tested and tried to see if we could become gods. That's the whole mythos. But just the part that believers should mature and grow in their life choices, that is very biblical.
Yeah, that is what's really hard about articulating Yeshuans is it's a really nuanced shift. Like, the shift is not that these efforts in life are wrong.
No,
it's what they're based in, the consequence of them. It's like really what seem nuanced, but are actually like massive changes.
Yeah.
But people, it's misunderstood and it's the same as like the mechanism of sin today and punishment and all these things. That's what's so sinister about religion is that it's those things that are what cause the guilt and shame and stuff.
That's right.
But they come from a place that
is good.
kind of correct. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's like a really hard
That's
thing.
why it is such a masterful counterfeit.
Yeah.
And so hard to debate with a member who
Yeah.
can't see that yet.
And the thing that's hard about the counterfeit too is I think the product of Mormonism that it's built on, that we're trying to clarify, is more aligned with human nature to understand.
Oh, yeah.
Like being
Works.
punished for your words.
Punishment.
Yeah, or
Merit.
that stuff is like, we can understand that. We don't understand what Christ did. Like
Right.
that's antithetical to, and that's what's so great about what he did. But
Right. And you're
Mormonism's based on how we work. Like naturally, it just makes sense.
It's the ultimate humanist Christian organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Yes.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Humanist Christian.
We could do a whole series on this. Finally, the one that is going to bother a lot of people. The Mormons are right. Oh wait, one more thing about how they do right. They teach right, but they go about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me the other day about a political leader in the world today and about a number of things that political leader is doing. And I was itemized with those things, and I'll just use an example. I think they said something like, is it wrong to demand that immigrants show their papers or show proof that they're citizens? And I said, no, nothing wrong with that at all. Is it wrong to, build a wall? If we need to do that,
Yeah.
nothing, whatever it is, nothing
Yeah.
wrong. But the means
Yeah.
by which this certain political leader is doing it is frightening as fluckaroo. So frightening. And that's the same
It is
thing
the
with
same
Mormonism.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. Real faith cares about the means.
Yeah.
It seems like that can be maybe a blanket statement that's said. It's tricky because we talk like love, when you don't feel it, you still do it. That's kind of the opposite, where it's like the outcome is actually what matters. The love you show, that's not the means. I don't know. It gets dicey philosophically.
No, it does get dicey.
But like, it does seem like the purpose of the whole thing is the means, not the actual outcome.
Right. And that's the difference between teleological ethics and deontological
Yes.
ethics.
Which
right.
is what he clarifies as what we're doing at Yeshuans
Yeah.
versus religion.
Religion.
Teleological meaning outcome based.
Yeah.
Deontological meaning duty
based to God.
means based. Yeah.
Yeah. And the final one on the subject is the LDS reject the man-made doctrine of the Trinity. And just recently, for the first time that I've ever heard in years, their new prophet, Delaney Oaks, he says, why we don't believe in the Trinity. It literally quotes that from the pulpit. So they know this is a hitch in the world of Christianity.
They're gonna gain Christian recruits.
They are.
Through doing that,
Yep.
I think, because the Trinity is being debunked so much right now.
Attacked, debunked. Eternal hell is being attacked, debunked. The Mormons don't believe in that eternal hell.
Yeah, and they boast it.
Yeah.
Like, they're right to be proud of these, like, sort of correct things that Joseph Smith
That's right.
tapped into.
He denied those, but he gave a completely fictional response to what God really is.
But based in things that make a lot of sense.
Of course.
And feel really good. And
yes,
yeah,
and
it's
are
like
the human
so,
mind.
Yeah.
And yes, so I'm glad this is a really good sit down with you and I, because we are able to see the mechanism that this thing is and why it's so slippery to be able to put your hands around it.
Yeah.
And why there are so many damn good people in the Mormon church, because like we've said, they want to do good.
Yeah. The whole thing is where their heart is.
Yeah.
And people do not hear us clearly when we're distinguishing individual Mormons from Mormonism.
Right.
And I wanted to ask at one point, like, that's generally when a Christian apologist is arguing with you about Mormonism, they're coming from the hypothetical position of this person when they call themselves Mormon, is prescribing to all that Mormonism demands.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you, like, hypothetically, is that person like a Christian, quote unquote?
It's all predicated on the heart. Because if
it's possible to believe literally every single thing about their own works, about their worthiness, all that stuff, even. Okay.
Yeah. Because their heart might be genuine toward pleasing God and wanting to do his will, but their methods are so skewed. And that's where I believe they're going to be really surprised, which is why I want them to know now.
Okay.
I don't want my brother Bo to do all of these things for the church, to die and have God say, Bo, my son, come on in. And then for God to let him know that that was a waste of his time and life.
Yeah. You don't want that?
I don't want him to experience that. I want him to realize that all of that stuff does nothing for him before God. It's his heart and his love that matters. And for my whole family and friends. Yeah.
But also to know that their heart is, if their heart is all right in that church, they're okay.
Absolutely.
Like they're
just like a Catholic or anybody else.
That is a big distinguisher of you. You even think so. As warped as Mormonism doctrine, the doctrine and the foundation of it is, one can still have the right heart in that.
Absolutely.
Like, can someone have the right heart in like the depths and the full practice of like Satanism?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it. I think the position that you take is that there's no way of thought that actually takes over the heart.
No.
Like the heart, and the heart being this thing that you can't discern, you can't even discern in yourself.
No.
Like it's so deep in there, but there's still something. Yeah. And that, would you say that that's like a faith that you have, that that's the case? Like, do you know that that's true?
I'd say it's faith based in scripture, because we know from the scripture that God examines the heart. And so the flip side to what you just said, and I agree to, a Satanist or a Mormon, right? It could be right with God, is that he also knows your heart. So if you were Mormon so that you could be rich and powerful and comfortable and not pursue God, he knows that.
Oh yeah. There's been Yeshuans right alongside us that we think have all the knowledge that would indicate their heart is in the right place, and it's like not way far away.
And that is why we made the stance together that, look at denominations, affiliations, even practice and belief, doctrinal, is not what God is going to judge a person on. He's going to judge the contents, the motivations, the drivers of their heart. And that is as sobering of a fact as to say you could be a Satanist or a Mormon or what, practicing, and it won't matter to him. You know, it's
that is, but again, would you say you know that that's true?
Well,
like,
in a spiritual sense, I would say I'm sold out on that.
Okay.
I'm convicted,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. Because everything I do, because we preach a subjective faith, is I interpret it through my own subjective experience. And my brain, my mind is jacked up.
Yeah.
My will, I want to stop eating and I can't.
Yeah.
And my emotions, someone cuts me off, I get really mad, are not what God is judging me on, because they're part of my flesh in this world. And he sent his son to take care of that. But he knows what I'm feeling and thinking in my heart in the presence of those failures, and if I'm humble and broken for my ways, or if I'm gloating in them. Yeah.
And those, like I said, you don't even know those things. And the circumstances of life help us, if we're interested in figuring them out, help us to see where our heart's at.
Ding!
That's
as
the point.
evidenced by last Sunday's teaching, because I had to go through a personal experience and I didn't even know what resided in my heart. And you guys, after 40 years of seeking, it was dark. So, I mean,
But that's the thing. That's like, that's your heart.
To find the dark. Get rid of it.
Yes. But okay.
So the scripture says, the psalmist says, Lord, shine a light in my heart. Reveal to me what I don't even know. Because those are the things that are really getting us.
So to bring it back to Mormonism or to religion, that's what I think is so detrimental about religion, is it keeps you from experience.
Yeah.
It does not allow you to test.
Nope.
And testing is the only way to learn. Like, making a mistake is actually the only way to learn. So religion wants to keep you doing correct action when it's actually incorrect action that God teaches us
That's
through.
why you're so freaking smart.
Well,
no, because people don't get that. 2 Corinthians says, I am glorified in your weakness, you see, because he is shown to be strong when we are weak.
Yeah.
Religion makes us strong and puts blinders on our eyes, and we never investigate. You just summarized it in what you just said.
Okay, so, and another one of those things where Mormonism gets it half right, or religion gets it half right, because we do think there is value to trying to live better, but the living better is in love. It's not in.
Yeah.
So like, there's just all these like crossed signals with what religion, how they like appropriate true things toward like false ends.
Yeah.
But because I want to be like you've had a bumper sticker made before where it's like, finally a church where, what is it? All the drunks.
Finally, a church full of drunks, whores, liars, and reprobates, and that's just the staff.
It's so good. And my evangelical teenage self was like, why?
Dad.
Like why? That's like promoting like hedonistic.
Not promoting.
I know.
Admitting.
I know that it's not promoting, it's admitting. Yeah, that's
the difference that people don't get.
Yeah.
When we are talking about things like that, we're not promoting. We're just admitting. That's the fact.
No, because you're always, as even just as an individual, is always trying to get over these things.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, deal with them or reconcile. Like,
and
it's
religion
not like you want to just be a drunk and a like, no, but yeah.
And religion won't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So really good. That's all I've got.
That was a maybe a tangent from my
No,
end.
it was
I'm
a
sorry
good
about that.
insight, man. How are we doing on time?
My computer died, so we're free floating here.
If you were LDS, you would have powered it up. You would have gotten a battery.
I wouldn't have had a dead computer if I was LDS. It's true, actually.
We love you guys. Share the show
y'all.
with others.
Yes.
Go to
thank you.
Yeshuans.faith.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.